It's been almost 20 years since we last saw them, but they're finally back. Ladies, 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 Jay and Silent Bob and the motherfucking Hizoo. Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is directed by Kevin Smith and once again stars Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith as Jay and Silent Bob. We once again follow the dynamic duo as they cross the country in order to stop a film from being made about them. Along the way, they meet some odd characters and get into some wacky situations, eventually arriving in Hollywood and culminating with a pop culture infused, big, huge parody movie ending. So, yeah, it's pretty much the last movie. This movie is very similar in structure to Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, which came out about 20 years ago. Which does kind of go along with the name, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. However, a lot of the jokes and the tone and just really everything about this movie seems like it came from 20 years ago as well. In fact, a lot of the comedy and even the situations in this movie seem like that they could be cut ideas from the first movie. While Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was very much a product of its time, I can at least say in that time it was funny. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. This movie's it's just not funny. I mean, that's not to say that it doesn't have some funny scenes in it, but it doesn't have any of the laugh out loud scenes that the View Askew universe has had in the past. One of the cool things about Kevin Smith's work, and more specifically his View Askew universe, is that while on the surface it seems kind of childish, basic, and just full of dick and fart jokes, the smarts were always laying right there underneath the surface of it all. But not here. Now it's just exactly what it seems. It's just pretty basic, dumb, and outdated. And worst of all, it's just not very funny. I've always thought that Jay and Silent Bob operated better as side characters in a movie or as part of an ensemble cast. I like the characters and they can be very funny, but their best moments are in the movies where they're not the main characters. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at the Hulk. His standalone movie is not really all that great, but he in the Avengers is pretty fucking awesome. And that's where Jay and Silent Bob are, in my opinion. They are the Hulk of the View Askew universe. The story, like I mentioned before, is pretty much just a rehash of the last movie. There's a side story added to that about a certain character's daughter that I actually thought was pretty good. It was actually pretty sweet, it had some good things to say, and it did end that arc in a pretty good place. Unfortunately, that side story was not enough to carry the entire movie though. The movie has a lot to say about the Hollywood machine and how it shits out the same thing over and over again. I mean, it goes into reboots and remakes and rehashes and re-everything. It really has something to say about this matter. And admittedly, it does have a point. And I get the joke that that's exactly what this movie's doing. And that's fine, and that joke could be really funny. But there's the problem. The execution is just not funny. The whole third act especially is just like a total rehash or reimagining of the last movie. And like I said, that is kind of part of the joke, but it's done so poorly that it's just not funny at all. In fact, it's pretty damn messy and just kind of bad. And bad is just not a good place to end your movie. And while even though that part is pretty bad and just overall eye-rolling, it does fare better than the whole entire middle section of the movie, which is just utterly forgettable. I mean, it's not good or bad, it's just totally forgettable. So I really don't know which is worse, just bad or just totally fucking forgettable. Really, neither sounds very good at all, and that's because they're not. Now, one place that the movie does do at least okay is its overall fan service. This movie has a ton of characters from the View Askew universe. Now, there are a couple of them that show up in really odd parts of the movie that seem like they're really only there just to say that they got somebody from that universe and put them into the movie. These moments seem kind of odd, even in a Jay and Silent Bob movie. The cameos and throwbacks to the earlier movies are probably this one's best moments, though. However, that's a double-edged sword, because this movie relies way too much on nostalgia of the previous films. And because of that, if you've never seen any of those movies, or really if you haven't seen pretty much all of those movies, a lot of this movie will just be lost to you. But really, even if you've seen every single last one of the movies and you know them backwards and forwards, it's not like it makes the movie much better anyway. Unfortunately, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot just does not hold up to its predecessors at all. The jokes and characters are pretty stale, it's overall just messily made, and while there's a few chuckle parts here or there, overall it's just not very funny. I mean, you had one job. I love these characters and this universe, and I really wanted to like this movie. And due to the affinity I have for these characters, I wanted to say this is worth a watch on Netflix, but I just can't. In good conscience, I just can't do that, because unfortunately, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is at best worth checking out on USA Up All Night. Damn it, man, this is 2 movies in a row I've given that rating that I was really hoping would be good. And I really wanted to like this movie, but god damn, I tried. I really did. I tried. But it's just not very good. Can't win them all, I guess. So there it is, guys, my review of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.
What do you guys think about this reboot?
It sucks. There, I said it. And who's directing this shit anyway? Kevin fucking Smith?
So while this movie was a letdown, they're apparently making Clerks 3 now, which I assume Jay and Silent Bob will be in. Hopefully they'll be where those characters thrive best, which is in a side role or as part of an ensemble. Hopefully. We'll see. Come on!